The disparity between the richest and the poorest countries has increased. The degree of inequality within most countries has increased. And while globalization is only one of the forces that are contributing to this growing inequality, it is an important force that is contributing to it. There are other aspects. Money is supposed to flow from rich to the poor, just like water is supposed to flow uphill, downhill. But in fact, money has been going from the poor countries to the rich. We have crisis after crisis. If there were only one or two countries with a crisis, you say fiscal irresponsibility, mismanagement. But when you see so many countries with a problem, you have to say there's something systemic. The answer, there is no simple answer, but what is clear is that what we need to do is to increase the productivity of those at the bottom, give them more education, improve technology, to offset these downward pressures, to recognize that we need stronger safety nets, stronger job retraining programs, and that in a world in which those at the bottom are going down and those at the top are doing very, very well, there is a need for redistribution. There is a need for more progressivity in our tax and social programs. Unfortunately, we've been doing just the opposite. Too often, people are using globalization as an excuse to say we have to weaken job protections, we have to cut back social programs. And so, in that case, what ordinary individuals are seeing, their economic position is being worsened, and then the support from the state is being worsened. You have young people, say in France, going out on protest, saying against the fact that their wages and benefits are being cut. They're being told, well, globalization requires this. And then they scratch their heads and they say, but you told us globalization is going to make us better off. How do lower wages and less job protections make us better off? And they have a point. Sometimes people come back and say, well, you have to be patient. In the long run, you will be better off. But there's a famous quip of Keynes, the great 20th century economist, who said, in the long run, we're all dead. And the fact is, it's been 30 years that wages have been declining at the bottom. Not in their lifetime will they see wages and job protections going up. Probably not in the lifetime of their children. And that just reinforces the fact that we need to have not a passive but an active response to these forces which are increasing the divide within our society and the divide across societies. A few countries have recognized the importance of this. China, in its 11th five-year plan, is very explicit. It said, look, we've succeeded in reducing poverty, but we have not succeeded in reducing the gap between the rich and the poor, particularly the rural sector that has not benefited. And they have put at the core of their economic program improvements in education, technology, responding, in their case, to the opportunities that globalization has offered. Scandinavia has probably done the best job overall in protecting people, investments in education, technology, safety nets. But there is an active debate about whether they need to retrench. Most of the Scandinavian countries are not doing that. In Sweden, there is a debate about retrenchment. But even with that retrenchment, it is so much stronger than the levels of investments in these areas in the United States that it is still a far better system than what happens in the United States, where if you lose your job, for instance, not only does your income plummet, but you don't even have health insurance. You have to get so sick that you have to beg to get hospital care in order to get any medical attention. So clearly the United States is at one extreme in dealing with these problems, and Scandinavia represents, I think, the best model overall of how to deal with them at the other end. Hello, Peppa Grillo blog readers. I hope you enjoy this set of interviews.